One of the questions I get a lot is, Chef, what do I do with all my leftover dough? And if I have some sauce left over, I've got a refrigerator full of these beautiful ingredients, but I don't know what to do with it. Guys, today I'm gonna show you my hack for using up all those leftovers in the fridge. CJ, what do you call those things?
Totino's pizza rolls.
I'm not gonna say it because I would never associate my name with it, but that's CJ. I'm gonna show you how to make the ultimate pizza bites. "35 years, this never gets old." The prep on this is key, and if you have all the stuff done ahead of time, they're really easy to assemble, especially if you're having a last-minute dinner party. This is a great way to utilize all those leftovers you have in the refrigerator. Let's start talking about the filling. I love to use spicy salami. It's actually one of my favorite things. So passata, anything that's got that little kick of chili pepper, I love. Mix it in with a little bit of all these other ingredients that we have, and you're gonna have a winning combination for the filling. But don't forget, you can use anything you like on this. When I start cutting everything up, I wanna make sure that everything is diced uniform, and I like to keep it small because I'm gonna be showing you today how to fill a piping bag. This is one of my favorite old school hacks. I'm using Belgioioso's fantastic smoked mozzarella. Take the mozzarella, chop it up really small, toss it in a bowl, and then don't forget about that spicy salami as well. Put everything into the bowl. Now, I'm gonna tell you, if you're one of those people using chopped garlic in a jar, go ahead and do what you like. Don't let the haters be a hater. I'm gonna tell you, I always prefer to use fresh garlic, but if all you have is that stuff that's in the jar, go ahead and use it. In the background, a little bit of garlic is gonna cut through beautifully with all of that creamy ricotta. Our last ingredient here, guys, add a little bit of shredded American Grana. You guys know how I like to do this. Let's make it snow. I just love the flavor of this Grana. Any hard cheese is gonna really take this over to the next level. If you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch how to make thin and crispy dough. It's on the channel. You'll find it in the dough library. This dough is sometimes referred to as tavern or cracker style crust. It's very famous in Chicago, and you need it as one of those recipes in your repertoire. I'm using a little bit of semolina across the top, not too much. I'm just using this so that I can handle the dough so that it's not sticking all over everything. As I'm pushing this down, I'm trying to dimple my fingers across evenly so that I'm making a uniform sheet of dough all the way across. I'm gonna grab a rolling pin and I'm gonna start to roll this out as thin as I can, but don't make it too thin, because if you make it too thin, that filling is gonna pop out the top and you're not gonna like the result because it's gonna make a mess. I'm gonna show you an old school hack for filling a piping bag. If you've never filled a piping bag before, do yourself a favor. There's no shame in using the training wheels on this one. You can see I've got CJ's favorite cup. I've got his famous ET glass that's actually back from the Pizza Hut days. I'm gonna take the piping bag, stick it inside of the cup. If you're using a Ziploc bag, no big deal. Stick that inside the cup just like I'm doing here. Once you're at the top, fold the sides down. So now you have almost an open access point to put that filling into. Don't be too concerned about getting all the way down to the tip of the bag on this one. Once we have this tied up, I'm going to show you how to cut this open. It'll be just fine. Look at how gorgeous this dough is. Work with purpose when handling the dough. Don't move it around too much. Until we get to the point where we cut it, this is going to be really the last time that you're going to have to stretch this dough. In Italy, we call this shape of pasta agnolotti, but really at the end of the day, it's going to be looking like a ravioli by the time we're all said and done, with an open side to it. I like to fold the dough over the ricotta filling and then press with your fingers in between each little pouch that we're making here. It's kind of like a little ravioli, right? Now fold it again over on top of itself and then give it one more press. You could use a knife, but I like to use this fluted pastry cutter. A pizza wheel or a pizza cutter will work just fine too. At the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is cut this dough. This is one of those things that I love about cooking. It's a lot of fun. I've got all my friends around me in the kitchen. We're always laughing, throwing jokes around, teasing a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's one simple technique that you're gonna practice and learn how to use, and you'll be able to pull this hack on your own and impress all of your friends and family. Toss these little beauties into a pizza pan or even a cast iron like I'm doing here. These are gonna puff up, so you don't want them too close together. Give them some space. I've got my pizza oven preheated, I don't know, between 350 to 400 degrees. We aren't looking to go too long, but don't disappear because I wanna watch the tops of these things. I'm looking for these to puff up a little bit and get toasty. Like a little, I don't know, CJ, what do you call these things again? Pizza rolls?
Yeah, pizza rolls. Yeah.
Pizza rolls?
Sure.
I've got some leftover pizza sauce. This is that American traditional sauce that you've seen me make before. If you haven't seen that video, go back into the archive. You could find it on my channel. Tell me these things aren't gorgeous. This is one of those things that you can get a crew of people all in the kitchen with you to help. Crank a ton of them out. Use everything up. At the end of the day, pop them in the oven. Once you see that they're brown, pull them out. And then the best part of all, once you plate them up, don't forget, go super heavy, snowfall. The last thing I'm doing is finishing this with a little bit of balsamic glaze. This is infused with hot chili peppers, and I love this because that spicy kick and that sweetness from the balsamic cuts through all of that ricotta and smoked mozzarella beautifully. Gotta have a dunk. This technique comes from the pasta world, and I love to use it in this application because it allows me to use up my old dough, and then anything creative you want to put inside will go in here. And at the end of the day, you're gonna make an incredible appetizer for your friends and family. Share this with a glass of wine or whatever you want to drink it with. I hope you try it. Leave it in the comments and tell me what you put in there. I'm Chef Leo. Ciao amici.